Greetings, everybody. Welcome. This is Will Amani, Esquire, talking to you about the topics, mostly topics that I decide to speak on, related to sports. This is not the X's and O's type podcast. We dive into issues and what is behind those issues and concerns regarding sports. Today, I am concerned about some of these fellow African Americans who basically get the opportunity, like coaching at the highest level, and then act up in ways that embarrass themselves, their families, their community, and the sports to which they had been given the opportunity to coach. Two prime examples that I want to talk about. Fired Boston Celtics coach Ime Udoka, and recently Michigan State head coach Mel Tucker. Both brothers, were given opportunities of a lifetime to coach storied franchises and a team, a college, in their respective sports. Udoka is a great coach. He had the Boston Celtics headed all in the right direction. Probably would have been in a position to dominate the Eastern Conference for the next few years with stud ball players like Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. He had assembled a great team, himself along with the GM. Now, it wasn't the performance on the court that ended his tenure in Boston. It was his behavior, his unethical and immoral behavior involving, an affair with a lady in the organization at the front office. I won't go into the details of all of that. That's not what this is about. If you need to find out the details, the specifics, the dirt, and the ugly, you can look it up. Google it. It's all out there. But what I am concerned about is this lack of judgment, this lack of respect for who you are and what you are when given such an opportunity. Because inevitably, what you're doing is going to lead to all blacks being judged if ever that position comes open and another brother is applying or is interested. Fair or unfair, your behavior is not going to be assessed to you personally. It is assessed to your race. The same goes for Mel Tucker. Good coach. He had a couple of good years that led to Michigan State putting their trust in him for the long term. A couple of years ago, he signed an extension of contract that added $95 million for 10 years. Unheard of for a black man in college football. A trailblazing contract. That school put their trust in this brother. And what does he do? He also gets involved in some shady sexual related business. Again, I'm not going to go into the details. That's not what this is about. But you can read it online. Mel Tucker embarrassed himself, shamed his family, and harmed African American community. Why? Why do men like these two put themselves in a position to do so much damage when so much trust was bestowed on them? Yes, we all have weaknesses. I get that. We all do. I do. In my position, yes, the Esquire is not just for show. I am an attorney by profession, licensed, in good standing. Every time I even think about doing anything close to something one might consider unethical, I reflect on what that action means, will do, and balance the cost-benefit analysis. What is this conduct going to get for me that will be worth me destroying my name, harming my profession, embarrassing my family, and bringing shame upon my community? And if there's a potential to hurt those things, I refuse to engage in it. We're not all perfect, but when you are a professional, you are held to a different standard. When you have been entrusted with so much responsibility and ethical conduct, moral clauses are expected of you, you have to understand what that means. And in this world and in this country, especially as a black man, you need to behave in ways that is above the standards that have been set for you. Beyond reproach, they say. So, I am not a psychologist, although I have a bachelor's degree in counseling psychology. I don't practice it. But it baffles me that these two men, and right now they are the most prominent examples of these failings that are out there. And we must really discuss and look at it and talk about it and examine it so that others who get these opportunities will understand the immense pressure and the scope that you will be under when such trust is bestowed upon you by such historic and renowned organizations like a Boston Celtics or Michigan State University football. It is huge. And Ime Udoka, he came through the ranks. He made his way to the top, and he's now, I believe, he's been given another opportunity to coach. Where was it? Houston? Well, one of these, I believe so. Houston or Atlanta, I'm not sure. But that's beside the point. He's gotten another opportunity. And him in particular, his failings crushed a lot of people. It crushed a lot of people. The players, by all accounts, loved him. They loved him. He was a good coach. He knew how to get the best out of them. And you could tell they really, truly believed they were headed towards an NBA championship with that man. Even after his demise and termination, the team still stayed at the top of the Eastern Conference and going to the NBA championship. Although they failed and they didn't win, the team that he put together still were able to reach the finals. If he had been there on the sideline in the finals, there's a very good chance that they might have won the Eastern Conference. They might have had an opportunity to win the NBA championship, which Boston hasn't done so in years since Paul the Truth Pierce and Garnett and those guys were there. They had an opportunity, and the hopes, the dreams of an entire city and all those rabid Boston Celtic fans was riding on this coach. I could see if it was his lack of ability as a coach, as a leader, that led to his ousting. Sure, that would be performance based on what you were hired to do. But what hurts is that it was a moral and ethical failing. Sex related, okay? The stereotype, fair or unfair, of black men and let's say black people in general being all sexualized and everything's about, that type of behavior. It's out there. It was always out there. That must not be how you lose your job. Listen, that cannot be how you lose your job. Whether you are a head coach of a popular or historic franchise, or you work as a front office individual at your local plumbing business. Sexual behavior, moral failings cannot be how you lose your job. Because it trickles down, it maintains, it stays in the forefront, and you are in a position of responsibility and to safeguard the image of who and what you are. This is really an outlier, so let's not act like all black coaches in big programs behave like this. They don't. Have a lot of respect for Doc Rivers. There are a lot of coaches in the leagues who don't behave like this. This is why, when we talk about Mel Tucker, and now one of the, he hasn't won as much, he hasn't established himself as much, but Deion Sanders, say what you will about him, I'm not here to, that's a different conversation. But he's an upstanding character. He doesn't do any of that stuff. He's a family man, a God-fearing man. A man who doesn't drink, he has never drank, and he's never smoked. And, yes, he's confident. Let's not use the word arrogant. Let's say confident. You see, when a black man is so confident, the other people and those who hate him use the word arrogant. You see, you can't be so boastful. You can't be so loud. You can't be so proud because you're supposed to be second-class citizen. Know your place. Okay? So when you are given the opportunity at the highest level, listen, you need to cherish that. You need to honor that. And you need to respect yourself above all else. You need to do that. And it hurts. It hurts those of us young men of color, those of us black men who respect and get excited when these opportunities that don't come around often are bestowed on men who look like us. Because if they look like us, we have the confidence that someday we may have a similar opportunity like they have. Rightfully so. We look forward to being given such an opportunity. But then, when these type of behaviors and failings occur, and you lose your job based on those moral ineptitudes and failings of moral turpitude and ethics, we see the potential loss of that opportunity. We see the loss. Again, not all, believe me, vast majority of black coaches are self-respecting and moral and ethical. I mean, look at Mike Tomlin, head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Not a scandal in sight. The longest tenured head coach in the NFL. Mike is still young and could coach for another 20 years. A sure bet Hall of Famer as a coach. Yes, he's earned it. But you hear Mike talk and you get excited. I get a little bit, whenever I hear him talk, I feel good. I feel like he puts out the best in us. Men like him are those that we need to elevate. We need to understand and study how they are able to conduct themselves at such high level of morality and ethics. This is not theory. This is becoming a problem. And we need to honor who we are. You are not just another coach. And this problem, yes, I'm only talking about people from our community. Yes, it happens with other coaches, white coaches too. But you see, no matter what, they will continue to get opportunities over and over again, just like in society. Yes, I've seen it. I've seen in my practice, white kids to get into all kinds of criminal troubles, have all kinds of criminal records, and still get hired, and still become managers, and still have opportunity to start businesses and get funds to build. Blacks in similar situated, no, not so much. Like if you're black with even a one minor infraction or misdemeanor, you're going to have a problem getting hired by anyone. You're going to have a problem being at an executive level position. And yes, you may even have a problem getting into college to better yourself. There are different standards. Okay? That is the reality of life. There are different standards in America that the different races are held to. Some have a lot longer leash than others. Mel Tucker, when you signed this extension to nearly $100 million for 10 years, not everybody was happy. some of those schools' own alumni, and some of the players and some of the student body, even some people who were just out there in the college football world, didn't care much for you getting that much money. And I guarantee you, some of them were betting against you because they probably expected you to fail. Maybe not on the field, but morally. And you gave it to them. You gave it to them. You said it's phone sex. What's that about? Why even engage in that conduct? Why even put yourself in that situation? You're going to now file a lawsuit based on what? Wrongful termination. Well, I haven't studied your entire contract, but it's going to be an uphill battle. There may be a settlement, but you will never be a head coach again. You're not the type of person that has that type of long leash where you can bring an embarrassment and ridicule to a university program, and then you get another chance to do the same, potentially, at another college of that stature. That just doesn't happen. You have yourself to blame. Udoka, you have yourself to blame. You need to understand, and first of all, when you do these things, you should really stand up and take responsibility. Apologize to everybody, especially the black community and all the young men who looked up to you and were excited for you about the opportunity that you had received and earned. You were looked up as a role model. So not only have you failed yourself in that regard, you have failed a generation of men, young men, who saw a potential because of you. Fair or unfair, when you are a black man or woman, you're held to a much higher standard in this society, in this country. We all are, regardless of what your position is. If you are on the burger making station in McDonald's, you, the black one, is held to a higher standard than the white one. You can't be late. You can't get off early. You can't flip burgers too slow. Or they're going to say all blacks are like that. If a white guy does it, oh, that's just Jerry. Oh, that's just Jimmy. Jimmy's just like that. That's just him. Let Jimmy be Jimmy. No, we don't have it like that. We are not looked up as individuals. We're not judged on an individual basis. Now, the flip side of that is when you are successful, when you are ethical and moral, then they judge you on individual basis alone. Like you're an exception. Oh, Udoka, he's unique. He's not like the others. Oh, Mel Carter, he's unique. He's not Mel Tucker. He's unique. He's not like the others. Oh, Deion Sanders doesn't get in trouble, doesn't get into issues with law enforcement, doesn't drink, doesn't smoke, doesn't swear. Oh, he's unique. He's not like others. Okay? So that's the fair or unfair. Sports is huge. Sports teaches. Sports sets examples. And so many young men, especially those who don't have many male role models at home, for whatever reason. They look up at sports figures, players and coaches. They idolize them. They want to be like them. They want to have the same opportunities someday as you. So when you put yourself in a position where you are ridiculed, where you have failed, you have done that to an entire community. You have brought that shame up on your race and community. It's not just about you at that point. This is why it hurt so much when Coach Udoka and Coach Mel Tucker failed. Not as coaches, not at the X's and O's, but failed in character. No, you're not expected to be perfect, but you are expected to be good. A Boston Celtics team don't hand you the keys to the franchise because they didn't expect you to be good. They wanted you to be good. Michigan State University don't name the first black coach and then give him a nearly $100 million contract because they expected you to fail. No. They had high aspirations, and they wanted you to be good. So for you coaches and leaders in similar positions, leaders, I'm not just talking now in sports, every aspect of life. If you have been given the opportunity to lead, be careful. Check your morality and your ethics. Before you act, before you do anything, talk to yourself. Talk to yourself and ask yourself if it is worth the damage that could occur. Because people are watching you closer than they would watch others. Check yourself and don't go the way of Udoka and Mel Tucker. People are looking up to you and people are looking at you. Some want you to succeed, others are betting on your failure. Don't give them that satisfaction. Don't. And honor who you are, honor your family, and respect the black community who have done so much for you to get the opportunities that you are getting. Do better. Do better. Because in the end, when you do, we all win. Honor yourself. Respect yourself. Willamani Esquire, Sports Rap. I'm out.